Hi everybody, this is Ellie. Thanks so much for joining me today for a video where I flip through the month of February in my pocket size bullet journal. This is my Hobonichi plain notebook cut down to pocket size, and I will go ahead and link my February setup video as well. I started off as I usually do with a piece of vellum tipped in. This is from Mrs. Brimbles' Etsy shop. I included a sticker from the Happy Planner Homebody sticker book and the February script from Allycat's design. This is very simple. All I did since the setup is fill in my appointments. And we come to the Calendex and the task list. I didn't use this very much at all, and in March I think I would like to try and get better about just writing down any general ideas that I'd like to get done. What I usually end up doing is writing them in the weeklies if I remember to, and then hoping that if I don't finish them, I migrate them, but sometimes they do get lost that way. So I'm going to try and make better use of this in March. Cross these off. I always love how the Calendex works out. This is washi tape from Simply Gilded. And then we go into my weeklies. So I didn't end up using my habit trackers on this week. I didn't put any tasks. I did still do some content planning. And here is where it fell off a little bit. I tried to do a little bit of tracking here. I mean, I read one day, which was better than 0 days, but I wasn't keeping up with my content schedule. And if you've seen my March setup video, which I can also link, I have changed up my weekly layouts because this just wasn't working for me in the way that I wanted it to. So I figured I would try something different. And then we move into the dailies. So my February palette, I used the Tombow 942, the cappuccino, and these were the washi tapes I pulled from. So I don't remember where this one is from. This is Simply Gilded. This was from Fairy Milk Bar on Etsy, Simply Gilded. This is an MT washi, and this is by Liang Feng watercolor, and I got this at Paper Plus Cloth, but the last time I checked, it was no longer available. Coming out of January and into February, I was a little bit tired with my dailies, and I found that I wasn't really filling up entire pages. So my idea was to try and just go a day at a time and start the next day wherever the previous day ended. So if that was here, this would have been Tuesday, instead of expecting each day to have its own page. I also tried to do a little bit of a different header. In January, I was very consistent with the date, the day of the week, and the line. Here, I thought I could just do a little scribble with my Tombow, and I like how this looked, but spoiler alert, it does not end up sticking around. So here's some Desi time. This is from PlannerMonkeyCo, and there's a transparent square behind it from Caffeine and Paper Co. Even though I hadn't planned to have a day per page, that is how it ended up working out. So that was fine. I just kept going with it. I think what happened here is I didn't end up doing the Tombow background at the same time as I actually filled in these pages, and then I realized I don't want to have to use 2 different writing utensils in these pages. It's nice if I do, it's fun if I do, but I don't want to feel like I have to. So I did switch from this style to trying this. I didn't like this. It just feels too empty now that I'm used to doing the line. This is from Create with Pen, super cute, holding the YouTube button because this was the day where my YouTube channel was taken down because it had been flagged or something, but it was resolved really quickly, thankfully, so I just marked that. This Friday had shorter entries. I also wasn't skipping lines. Typically, I skipped lines in January just between kind of my different memories. But I thought, you know, I've done it this way in the past, so I wanted to give it a go again. It did keep the entry a little bit shorter, so I started Saturday here. Needed to continue it on the next page, and then when I was going back to find this later in the month, I was totally confused, and I just figured, you know what? I am going to go back to my tried and true layout. It was fun to try something different, but it just basically reminded me why I'm using the layout I am. that it's been working consistently for me, and I was really happy to move back into it. So I have some video notes here, still using this line separating my signifiers from the tasks and loving it. This was the Super Bowl, which for me is just about the food that we make. Caught up with a friend. This is by TheCoffeeMonsterzCo. I'm using the Jetstream in the 0.5 here, which I'm mentioning because I do switch over. Oh, I made a tracker here for some covers that I wanted to list, but I didn't actually fill any of this in, although I did sell some of them. So, this was a nice idea, but I didn't end up using it. A lot of pen-only spreads here. I do like to write down basically all the nitty-gritty tasks I remember. It just helps me get them done, even if it's not the same day. I do a lot of migrating of tasks, and that's one of the reasons I love the bullet journal system. For me, that kind of tedious rewriting makes me focus on whether or not it's something I actually want or need to do, or whether or not it's something I can discard as irrelevant. We celebrated the Lunar New Year on this Saturday. We ordered Chinese food and just all hung out together. This is another Coffee Monsters Co. sticker. Some more video notes, and here's where I've switched to the 0.7. I'm not sure why I did. I think my 0.5s were running out of ink and I was too lazy to switch it. So the 0.7 is obviously a thicker line, and I like how it looks. It just looks more full to me, and I like that. I do smear it. I will say that because of the way I hold my pen, I do sometimes find myself smearing it, which I never really noticed in the 0.5. And it doesn't look quite as clean, in my eye anyway, which is funny because sometimes I really prefer the kind of cleaner, finer look, and sometimes I really prefer the fuller, more lived-in look. So that's where I am right now. This was Valentine's Day. I didn't end up writing any tasks. It was a Valentine's at home for us. This is the Coffee Monsters Co. The animated movie Home was on TV, so I watched that and just drew a little boob in here. And we ordered in for dinner, and Paul picked up a delicious cake. It was family day, so it was a holiday here in Ontario. This is by Happy Daya. I just like this. It just reminds me of all of us being together. It was a pretty relaxed day at home. We had lasagna. We watched Knives Out, actually, which I had heard very little about, but it turned out that we all loved it, so that was really fun. I've been trying to go through and get rid of photos on my phone, so here I just wrote down screenshots of any sort of books or titles or songs that, I was trying to remember. And then I deleted the photo, so it's this messy spread here now, I guess I can go back to. Some more notes. I was choosing a book for kind of some sketching practice. I don't know when I'll be starting that, but I did do step one, which was for me choosing the book out of the books I already own. This is how I like to track my appointments. This functional box is by Let's Plan It, and these watch reminders are from Paperbits Co. Some more video notes. This was a birthday wish list. I don't recall where this is from. I will put the name on screen. It's from a Canadian shop. This is the day that I made homemade cinnamon rolls, which I was really proud of, and they tasted delicious. So this bear is from Paperbits Co, and I will definitely make those again. Just some pen and paper spreads, and I love this. This to me is kind of the heart of the bullet journal. I've really been trying to incorporate movement more consistently into my morning routine, so I do tend to write that in if that's something I get done. I use the plus sign for anything health related, and that is something I picked up from Lindsay Scribbles. So I do like having that additional signifier. My mom and I have started watching Superstore this month, which we never watched when it was airing, so that's fun. Here's my Stationery Stockpile Challenge dashboard for the month. The theme was pink and red. I'll link our playlist up above, and I did this, I think, on the 26th or 27th, but I got it in there, and I really love having these pages in the bullet journal. They're a lot of fun just to flip through and see some of my stickers that, you know, I otherwise have trouble using. I still have the instinct to save or hoard, so giving stickers a purpose and just kind of like a beautiful place to exist together is something really satisfying to me. Impromptu movie night, A Few Good Men was playing on TV. Again, pen and paper, just some video notes. Love using the Tombow to do kind of the title header. It makes them easy to find when I'm flipping through it. Here, Paul and I watched most of Maze Runner 3, which is funny because we haven't seen either of the first two movies or read any of the books, but, you know, it was still entertaining. And coming up on the end of the month. Again, very, very functional and simple pages this month. You know, pretty task heavy, love writing down my memories. Cleaning my desk. I've been trying really hard to organize things and find a home for everything because I just end up making such a mess. And sometimes that really impedes me from taking pictures for Instagram or getting ready to film just because I feel like it's a hassle to clean everything off the desk. So I'm working really hard on finding everything a home, and if it has a home, I'm pretty decent about putting things back, or at least the cleanup process goes much faster. It's when I just kind of start making little stacks all over my desk that things get a little bit murky. And there we move right into March. I'm glad that I did use this consistently. Towards the end of February, I was getting a little bit, I don't know, both under and overwhelmed with my systems, but I still get into the bullet journal. If I don't get to any other paper or pen system, I do really try to get into this one because this one is kind of the heart and the brain, and everything else I can extrapolate from here and put it into other systems down the line if I want to, and if not, I do have some record at least. So I am glad to flip through it and see how it all came together because it did feel like a bit of a slog in the moment. And March has been going pretty well so far, so we will see how that continues. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.